my friends. I want to talk today about the three things that tend to stop us from recovering, the three major things that hook us when we're in limbic recovery. This is very specifically for those in recovery from a limbic system impairment, so if you're in that camp, this is for you. If you're not, it probably isn't going to make a whole lot of sense. So, the first thing that stops people from moving forward with their recovery is doubt. Doubt that the symptoms are just their limbic system. Doubt that this is going to work. Believing, and part of doubt is the limbic system wanting you to believe the false messages, and the false messages behind, like, this is never going to work, it's impossible. That's one of the most common things, is this feeling we come up against, and it's going to happen for all of us. There's always going to be a feeling that it's impossible. It is possible, and it is up to us to override that in order to move forward. So and part of it is doubt keeps us on the fence. It keeps us from moving in any particular direction. And that's one thing I want to highlight for you to move away from this pattern, is to notice whether any particular thought or behavior or pattern that is happening inside of you is the only thing it does keep you in fear or stress chemistry or stuck. If that's the case, you don't need it. All it's doing is stopping you. And this is a different way, because the limbic system really looks at things in terms of, is it true or not? And for most of us in recovery, at this point, that's not relevant. We're looking at, okay, well, you're telling me that my environment isn't safe. You're telling me that these things aren't limbic, that there's something really wrong. I need to do something about it now. And instead of asking whether or not that's true, we're saying, does entertaining this thought pattern serve me? Is it working for me to give me the feelings of safety and security that clearly there's some part of me is desperate for? That's the question. Is it working? And this is where you can have a conversation with your limbic system and say, okay, sweetie, I understand that maybe we don't know whether the environment's safe. Maybe we don't know, whether this is limbic or not. Cool. But entertaining these patterns is not giving me the results I'm looking for. All of the limbic system's trying to help you. So allow it into that conversation. Acknowledge that it wants to help you, and show it that, hey, look, this is what we've been doing. It's not working. And I know you're trying to help me, so we're going to try something else. I'm going to help you help me, and we're going to try this other thing, because we can know if we keep doing the same thing, we're going to get the same result. And we know that if we try something different, we're going to get a different result. And if entertaining these thoughts and these looping patterns and focusing on symptoms and focusing on potential dangers and negativity and the belief in, I can't do this, it's impossible, there's no way, it's too hard, it's too difficult. If that's not working, you can know that trying something else is going to get you somewhere else. Is it working? Is it getting me where I want to go? This is about quality of life. It's not about being right or wrong. So that's the first thing. The second thing is inconsistency. And that can be, being inconsistent in terms of your practice, whether or not you're doing your daily practice consistently, whatever that consists of, regardless of what stage of recovery you're in or what program you're using. Consistency is key. It is like your limbic system is a child or a dog, and they crave and need our consistent redirection in order to learn something new. That repetition it's like reprogramming a computer that's time sensitive. And if we don't do that, if we don't do it consistently and at the time when it's needing that redirection, it's going to go with the old programming. If we're not consistently putting in the new programming, it's going to go the other way. That's just what happens. So it does take a lot of effort, and I will validate that, and that takes a lot of courage and a lot of self-love and a lot of self-worth. And that's how we build self-worth, is by taking the effort and committing to, in each and every moment, I can show up for me by not allowing myself to entertain thoughts and behaviors and focuses that are negative and limbic and that just take me round and round in a circle, focusing on what's wrong and what is scary and what doesn't feel good. I can instead in this moment, I can make my quality of life just that much better by redirecting my focus to something that feels good to me, something that brings me to a place of calm or equilibrium, something that brings me to a place of joy or hope, that there is no there's no downside to that, to giving yourself a better experience of life in the present moment. So that's inconsistency, and sometimes that can mean as well that when we're doing well, the limbic system will pull us into old patterns because we're in new territory. It thinks that's scary, and it will pull us back into an old loop just to get us somewhere where it's like, okay, we're back in familiar territory. Okay, we're safe. That's not what safety is. It's just familiar. So, pardon. So that's the second one, is inconsistency. The last one is trying to figure it out. So trying to figure it out is a really good one to keep us from actually having to change. And this can often look like trying to figure out why the limbic system's activated, trying to figure out more information, searching for more information. And that could be more information about recovery, or it can be more information about our symptoms. It could be a lot of different things. And that's simply the limbic system not trusting you, not trusting the information that you've already given it, and also resisting change, because actually changing, the brain thinks it's a threat. It thinks that change is threatening. So it's going to do everything it can to keep us stuck in the same place. So quick and simple, but I just want to put this out there because going through a diagnostic, if you're stuck and you notice any of these three things on your list, the first step is to take action on it. The solution to our limbic impairment is taking inspired action within ourselves. Action doesn't mean physical necessarily, but changing how you're doing life, changing a thought pattern, changing a behavior pattern, and being consistent about that change, picking one thing at a time and shifting it. But if we're allowing ourselves to stay stuck in one of these ways, you can know that that's the first area. You're probably, anything else is not going to help you until you decide to take action and continuously do something. So that's my offering for you guys today. If you feel stuck, this is the first place to start before you go researching, before you schedule a coaching call or anything else. This is the first place to start. Are any of these three things running? Address them and then move forward from there. Much love to you, my friends.